Hello. How's it going? Here we are in that weird in between week, the week between Christmas and New Year's, going into Monday. And I don't know about you, but I'm thinking about how I want to do things in the new year, what's coming up in 2026, etc. I'm feeling reflective. I'm feeling planful. I'm feeling really lazy, like laying around and resting. Not lazy in a bad way necessarily, but lazy in like let's just do nothing for a few days and see how that feels kind of space. Sunday night, I know, weird time to be live streaming, I think, but I wanted to record an intro for an episode that is coming out tonight if all goes according to plan. And I thought if I'm going to be recording this intro, then why not just turn on the live stream and see if anybody pops on to be chatty in this time with no pre-warning, no announcements, just hi, here we are, we're live. So, who is scrolling their Instagram, their YouTube? Do people scroll YouTube? Is that a correct use of that term? What do people do on YouTube? Do they scroll? Scroll Instagram or LinkedIn and do whatever it is y'all do on YouTube. I don't know. In any case, here we are, Sunday evening, December 28th. And this is the intro for our upcoming Creative Impostor episode, which is coming out in the audio feed tonight. You're listening to the Creative Impostor. I'm flexible format story producer, podcast strategist, and your host, Andrea Klunder. Today, ripped from the algos of social media, color, culture, controversy, cloud dancer, the color of the year announced by Pantone for 2026. Now, depending on when you're listening to this, heck, even right now as I'm recording this, maybe this is already completely washed over and out of the social media feeds and not even a thing, but it was a thing. And why is that? Why did it cause such a stir? And why should we care? But as you can tell from the pre-roll clip for this episode, the story goes much deeper than colors and social media outrage. For this episode, I've invited my friend Isabel Rizzo, who is a practicing artist and art therapist here in Chicago, currently working inside a prominent children's hospital. And together, we're going to discuss all things color, culture, and controversy. Now, I am recording this intro and releasing the audio episode in that weird week between Christmas and New Year's. It's a week which, for many of us, is found time, downtime, rest and renew time. For some, we're feeling reflective. For some, we're looking ahead. And for some, we're just eating a lot of cheese for some reason. Wherever you find yourself, in a cheese coma or writing down your list of 100 things you're grateful for the past year, I encourage you to listen to this episode with some curiosity and then go out into your world this week, your day to day, with eyes wide open, noticing the colors around you and how they make you feel, how they shift your energy, particularly if you're living in a wintry gray sort of environment like Chicago is probably going to be for the majority of the next few months. But how do the colors that you surround yourself shift your energy? Put some intention into the items you're choosing to wear, the graphics maybe you're creating in your content. Consider some art making of your own if that feels right. And then let me know what colors you're leaning into. What are you feeling drawn towards? Which colors are catching your eyes? Even if it's just nail polish. What are you feeling pulled towards? Send me a DM on Instagram at The Creative Impostor or on LinkedIn at Andrea Klunder, or email me, andrea@infuselife.net. I would love to read your message about color in a future live stream episode. Or if you're feeling vocal, just record me a voice memo and I'll even play it. And yes, you heard correctly. The Creative Imposter is live streaming interviews and episodes on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram on Thursdays in 2026. Our current series that we're getting into is When Your Art Becomes Your Job. And I am looking for guest ideas. So if you or someone you know has an experience, a story about turning your passion, your creativity, your hobby, your mission, your art into a paid proposition, a job, a business, an online shop, social media brand, for better or for worse, and most likely a little bit of both, I would love to hear about it. So reach out and let me know, make an introduction, and we'll see about doing an episode in the coming year. Also, I'm thinking about inviting today's guest, Isabel Rizzo, back onto the show for more on turning her art literally into her job as an art therapist. So, as you're listening to the full episode, which again is releasing in the audio feed for the Creative Imposter, then as you're listening, if some questions are coming up about Isabel's work or about the perks or the downsides of doing a job that is inherently creative and meaningful and being paid to do that job, send those questions my way. And we will see if we can get her back on the show and ask. On that note, you can learn more about Isabel, her work, upcoming classes, and events at isabelrizzo.com. That is going to be linked for you in the show notes for the audio episode. And sorry, let me say that again. So, on that note, you can learn more about Isabel, her work, upcoming classes, and events at isabelrizzo.com, which is linked in the show notes, in the episode description, in your favorite podcast app. And also be sure to check out the conversations that we've already started having here on the Creative Imposter about when your art becomes your job. The YouTube playlist of live stream conversations is available at bit.ly/art versus job. That's bit.ly/art vs job. And you can already see our first couple of conversations there. Do reach out and let me know if you have an idea for someone that I should talk to for this series, or if you yourself have a story that you would like to share about how you've turned your art into your job, for better or for worse. Okay. Are you ready? Here's the tea on the color of the year with Isabel Rizzo and me. And of course, if you're watching this live stream, that's a little weird because I'm not going to play the interview here. That interview already lives as a replay both on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So you can go check the video version of my conversation with Isabel there. Or you can wait probably about another hour from the moment of this live stream and catch the audio episode with this intro from me in the podcast feed. And again, the Creative Imposter audio podcast feed can be found in your favorite podcast app. My favorite happens to be Pocket Casts, but you can find it in any podcast app there as well. I do want to share that in the episode, we actually do share some ideas for you about. Did I say this? Oh, I didn't even say this, did I? Okay. So toward the end of the episode, Isabel and I are even going to give you some ideas for choosing your own color of the year for 2026. And I would love to hear what you choose and why. So we have a lot of theories about Pantone. So we have a lot of theories about Pantone's choice of this off-white color. Why am I saying this wrong? We have a lot of theories. Isabel and I have a lot of theories about Pantone's choice of Cloud Dancer, which is kind of an off-white, mostly white color, and why they may have chosen it for good reasons or reasons of rage bait, whatever it may be. We also have some ideas around some of the alternate colors that people have been suggesting in their communities and on social media. It seems like there are a lot of people who are looking for something that's more vibrant, something that has more life to it, more energy, more aspirational qualities. Like for a lot of people, 2025 felt pretty dismal and stressful. And so maybe we want something that feels more uplifting and energizing. And I'm still thinking about this. I'm still kind of trying to bat this around in my mind. Like, what color would I choose? It definitely wouldn't be white or off-white. But what color is it? I haven't fully decided yet. I'll update you if I make a choice before the new year, which is coming in a few days. So yeah, ideas for how to choose your own color of the year. If you have a color that you're really drawn to for this year or that you're wanting to bring more of into your space, please let me know. I'd love to hear how you're making that choice. You can put it in the comments for this video or in the chat for this video rather, or you can send me a DM on LinkedIn or Instagram, or even send me an email and just pop your color in there, the name of the color, the color code, hex code number, if you know what it is. I'm really curious what our community is thinking in terms of colors. And if you've never thought in terms of colors before, maybe this is a good experiment for you to try. All right. I also wanted to share with you that if you yourself are thinking about creating a podcast this year, maybe you have an idea that's been kind of rolling around in your head, but you weren't sure if it would work. You weren't sure if this was the right time. You're not sure what the first steps are or how much of an investment it might be. Maybe you have a show and you're feeling like there might be something that you're missing, something that you could be doing more. No, that's not the right phrasing. Something that you could be doing to make your show more powerful, more influential, to get better results or different results or have a different experience with it. Maybe you just are feeling kind of stagnant and you want to try something new. Maybe you did try podcasting at one point in time and you put the show on pause, and ever since then, you've been kind of thinking about staging a comeback. All of those things are things that I could personally help you with in the new year, and you could hire me and my team at the Creative Impostor Studios to set you forward on the right path. So here is the official promo that I will be recording and putting into tonight's episode with Isabel. How are you enjoying the episode so far? If you're with us to this point, then you're definitely a podcast person. Are you also a podcast creator or even a pod dreamer? Well, whether you're already putting your voice out there or thinking of creating your own show, let me say that again. Well, whether you're already putting your voice out there or thinking of creating your own show, this can be your year to nope. This can be your year to take your creative expression, storytelling, and community build and this is a behind the scenes of recording copy that I've just written. Okay. This can be your year to take your creative expression, storytelling, and community building to the next level by crafting a more powerful podcast that influences people to take positive action. Over the next few weeks from the release of this episode, I'm offering a handful of free 30-minute consultations where we can discuss the strategic positioning of your existing podcast or the idea that's been tumbling around your mind. These sessions are ideal for you if you're serious about creating an influential podcast that makes the world a better place, i.e., a place we all want to live in. Leveraging your current show for even more results, or you've had a podcast on pause and you're ready for a fresh comeback. I have a handful of openings available. It's completely free and it is not a sales call. I'm not even going to pitch you unless you ask me nicely. All you need to do is go to bit.ly/powerfulpod, choose your time, and fill out a short form. Again, that's bit.ly/powerfulpod. I did not make a banner for this. Let me pop that up on the screen here. bit.ly/powerfulpod. Okay, that's bit.ly/powerfulpod. Choose your time, fill out the short form, and after you complete that booking, I will review everything that you've shared with me and come to our session ready with ideas about your more powerful podcast. In the meantime, you'll be redirected to a landing page where you may choose to opt in to our free Podcast Envy exclusive, a secret podcast feed where I'm sharing podcasting insights and inspiration over the coming months. Once again, grab your spot at bit.ly/powerfulpod, linked for you in the show notes for this episode. Okay. And here is the outro for my episode with Isabel, which won't make any sense for this live stream, but if you're just curious on how this process works and how I record these things, here's your insight. So what do you think? What's your color of the year? Email, voice message, or DM me and let us know. Also, share your questions for Isabel about turning your art into your job, and we'll see if we can get them answered on a future episode. You can watch video versions of our live streams on this topic on YouTube at bit.ly/art versus job. That's bit.ly/art-vs-job, or stay tuned for the audio versions right here in your podcast feed. Plus, if you've been dreaming of making a more powerful podcast, let's make this your year to influence your people and create the world you want to be a part of. Check the show notes for the link to get started. The Creative Impostor is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Andrea Klunder. Our technical director is Edwin R. Ruiz. Theme music by Jovia Armstrong. Thank you for listening, and I hope your 2026 is more vibrant than Pantones. All right, that's it for our stream. Curious what you're thinking about the color of the year. Curious what color you want to bring into your year. And let's have a conversation about it. Okay, hope you're doing well. Have a great weird week between Christmas and New Year's. Bye.